Hi, Casey. I truly hope you are enjoying just what is a warm summer so far. I know we've been outside lots, so I hope you are enjoying the heat that is Kamloops here. So, quickly, as always, we just wanted to really take a moment and bring you up to speed what's happening. We are a year end, which means June is the last month of the year, which means that gives us a ton of information we're still working through. But we want to give you an update right now as we have some of this information. So we'll update you on that. And then we'll also give you an update on the latest ministry experience or latest ministry that we did, which was the Pine House trip that the youth went on for the Pine House Exchange. So first and foremost, finances, as always, operating. So this is, again, the operating line. What does it mean to operate the building day in and day out? Wages, cleaning, parking lot, things like that. The income we budgeted for the month was $145,000. We actualized $136,000, so just underneath what we budgeted for. The expenditures were $175,000 for a budget and actually came in at $163,000. So we expected to have a shortfall for the month of June of $29,000, just under $30,000, but we actually just saw a shortfall of $27,000 for the month. So again, we have highs and low months, and some of the months, like the higher months in Christmas, carry us through into the end of the year, expecting to have months like June that are going to be a bit of a shortfall. So that's kind of the quick overview snapshot. What does it mean year to date? So where do we kind of finish off the year? Well, like I said, this is kind of a snapshot of where we are today, but we are doing year-end moving, adjusting entries and things like that. So here's the information as we have it right now. The income that we have budgeted for was $1.6 million. What we actually saw coming in was $1.57 million. Our expenditures were $1.65, and they were our budget for, and they were actually at $1.57. So what does that mean? Well, we had expected to have $5,600 of net gain in the year, and we actually saw $3,800, which is incredible, especially given where we came from in December, where we didn't bring in as much as we had thought we had. This just goes again to show how God is gracious and good to us. Now, I will throw in a caveat on that. We are seeing this as, again, for the operations as a positive, $3,800, but there's some expenses, like for example, in the missions, which are restricted fund or non-operating funds, and that did push us under. So we operating wise, we did good, but some of the missions, we didn't get in as much missions this year as we thought. And so we're going to see some adjusting entries coming in for the end of the year. So we will update you as it comes around. But just strictly from an operating perspective, we landed the year at a $3,800 net positive. Just kind of what is the quick glance overview of the restricted donations of the year? Again, missions outreach, we saw $153,000 come in this year for missions and outreach, which is, again, really just pragmatic ways of doing missions in our community. That means giving bridge funding for rent or for food. That includes doing events for our community that bring community in. These are very tangible ways of us doing ministry at KAC. Care Connections brought in $85,000, and then the Capital Reserve brought in $131,000 for a total of $371,000 this year in those funds. Our capital reserve as of today, so the bank balance, if you will, is $140,000. Now that is going to be the funding used for the parking lot. So by the time you get this video, if all goes well, there should be no parking lot left. In other words, we're very close to having the parking lot ripped up and then having it resurfaced and repaved. A large portion of those funds have been raised and are earmarked and going to be designated for the resurfacing of the parking lot, which is happening. We're shooting to have that done at the latest by middle of August, but hopefully a little bit sooner than that yet. So that'll to say, church, as we're wrapping up the year end, as we're looking back, as we're seeing where everything lands for a year end fiscal perspective, it is absolutely abundant that God has been good and gracious to us. And church, thank you for partnering and trusting us with the finances and trusting us to steward those well. And so thank you, church, for being partners in that. Okay, we're going to move it over to the Pine House. We're doing a Pine House exchange. In other words, we sent a ton of youth over there a while back, and in doing so, we were able to minister, to come alongside, to learn, to experience, to build relationship with Pine House. In a few weeks, they're going to send a bunch of kids over this way, and that's the exchange part of it. And so when they come here, they're going to come alongside us, and they're going to minister to us, and we're going to partner with them here. So it's really, really exciting. And the Pine House group put together a quick video of their experiences there. This is that video. And so our ask, our prayer is that as we do these exchanges, as we do these events where we're going there and doing ministry and they're coming here, we're just praying that God would use those moments to not only build in the lives of the people going, but build in the lives of the people they're ministering to, and also to further the connection with Pine House and KAC as we do ministry together to make Jesus known in our respective communities. So enjoy the quick overview of that trip, and appreciate you joining on, and we'll talk to you next month.
Hi, I'm Daniel, and my highlight from the trip was making very close connections with all the members of my team.
And my favorite part was when I entered into a jigging competition as the only white guy in the entire competition. I thought it was an awesome experience. Everybody laughed at me and I laughed too. We all had a great time.
My name is Katie, and the highlight of the trip for me was building relationships with the teens and seeing how God worked through their community.
God has his people here. We get to come alongside and serve, and God will continue to work.